Chef Marco from Marco's Restaurant is back with us, and he's got a really fun dish that we are going to make. This sounds like a good party food.
This is a great party food. You can serve a lot of people with it. If you get a nice big sirloin steak or something, we're going to make a steak pizzaiola today. And it's just a combination of all flavors and tradition, and you're going to love it.
Tell us some of the ingredients that folks need to get together.
You need to get a nice steak. Today I'm using an 8-ounce New York strip steak. You could use sirloin, you could use filet, anything. There's no real rules on what steak you could use, but crushed tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, butter, pepper, onion, red wine, fresh red peppers. It's really simple.
Doesn't matter any kind of red wine?
It doesn't. It's not really a big deal. You can use any kind of red wine that you have open, if there's any left.
That's right.
I know.
Preparation time?
About 15 minutes with all the prep work.
Do you serve this at your restaurant?
On special, we do.
Tell us a little bit. Do you have variations that people ask for, or do you at your restaurant?
I do it a couple different ways. I have a sirloin filet, and we use it with spinach and mushrooms and red wine. We add some tomatoes to it, and that's really nice. But this dish with the fresh mozzarella just gives it a little more dimension. And then if there's anything left over, I got a real cool second helping for you. It's gonna be a trip. The kids are gonna love it too.
This is something that you can. It seems like the whole family will love, and it has the vegetables as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, we have much more on that. We're going to prepare it. We're going to talk about second helpings, and we're going to talk a little bit more about your restaurants. Not only the restaurant, but you have delis as well.
I have 3 Italian delis, one in Williamsville, one in Kenmore, one in North Buffalo. I'm the chef for Serrano Cheese. I'm the owner of Marco's Italian Restaurant. I'm going to come dine with me Sunday nights at 10:30 on CW23. And that was just a promotional thing right there, wasn't it? That was just terrible.
And he's a father of twin girls, and he's a married man with great tactics in the kitchen.
That's
we'll have more
That's
of
my
that.
world right there in a nutshell.
Back to you guys. Welcome back. Chef Marco of Marco Restaurant is joining us. We're talking, what is it, steak pizzaiola?
Pizzaiola.
Pizzaiola. And it's a fun, easy to prepare meal.
It is, and it's something you can make yourself. And I understand the only thing you're good at making is reservations. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I waited all day for that. What we're going to do is we're going to prep this up a little bit ahead of time. And the cook time on it is probably going to be about 3.5 minutes, depending on the temperature. I like it rare, so I would cook it a little bit less. I don't know. How do you like it?
I like it medium well, but do you slice it, end up slicing it? How much would this serve?
This is a single serving. This is an 8-ounce New York strip.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by putting a little bit of olive oil on the steak. We're going to season it with a little black pepper and a little bit of salt.
All right, here's my hygiene question for the day. With steaks like chicken, do you have to wash the steak if you get it from the store?
I always do. I recommend washing anything. Wash the cutting boards, wash your hands. Just cold water is nice and easy. And yeah, you never know. You just want to make sure you get all that whatever off of it. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So we're going to get our pan hot. We're going to let our steak sit. And what we really created was a little bit of a marinade here. And it's just olive oil, pepper, and salt. And when we come back, I'll show you how to do the sauce. Put it up together. Put some fresh mozzarella on it.
And you got a great meal.
Great meal.
You serve this at Marco Restaurant.
We do.
And how do you serve it? And how popular is it? How often
well, this is a special. We'll run it, run it periodically. And whenever we have it on special, it really does sell out. We serve it with a side of pasta, and it's just a great dish. Something other than the traditional grilled New York strip. Is this a traditional Italian meal? It is. It is. It is. With the mozzarella. What if somebody doesn't like the mozzarella? Can you fix it with somebody else? Some other kind of cheese? We prefer fresh mozzarella. No other tastes like it. No other tastes like it. It just gives it that dimension, and it's just a great dish. It really is. You'll love it. Try it. Try it the way I make it first before you change it around. My God, you didn't even eat it yet. Listen, I got to make reservations, all right? You have to make reservations. Let me do the cooking. You do the talking. This is going to be a great relationship. Chef Marco is going to put it all together when we come back. All right. Back to you. All right, we are putting everything all together right now, so get out your frying pan and the heat ready. Chef Marco, tell us what to do. You got it. If you're not a big steak eater, and this was a point that was brought up to me, if you're vegetarian, if you want to take an eggplant and slice it nice and thick, call that a steak, or a zucchini, this works perfect. This is a great dish for vegetarians. And if you don't like steak and you want to use chicken, that works perfectly too. So, enough horsing around. Pan's on medium to high heat. I oiled it, a little bit of marinade going on. We're going to sear it oil side down. Oil side down. This is going to take about a total of 6 minutes, and it'll be medium. So we're going to cook this on one side while we prep our sauce. Fresh vegetables, roasted pepper, or red pepper. We didn't roast it, it's a red pepper. We're just going to wash it, make sure you get all that wax off. Yep. And then we're going to slice it thin. You want to julienne it. And remember how I told you, make sure you never look away from the knife when you're cutting. It's dangerous. You want to put this right in here with the steak. We're going to do that again with your onion. And again, I'll watch what I'm doing this time, I promise.
I'll watch for you.
Okay. So it seems like every dish I make has one common ingredient.
The garlic.
The eau de garlic. And this is the Italian ingredient that everybody has to have. And I left it thick. Well, I left it thick. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook those together. And it's just going to bring out a little bit more oil, a little bit more flavor into the garlic, into the vegetables, into the tomato sauce.
You don't have to add any more oil to that, to the pan?
No, I'm using a nice Teflon pan, and it won't stick. If you want to add a little bit for the vegetables, that's fine.
Okay.
If you want to just give it a little touch, or I know how you really like butter. We're going to throw the butter in there.
It certainly does.
And this is going to caramelize the vegetables a little bit, so it's not going to hurt it. See that smoke? The other side is seared. Look at that.
Seals in the juices.
Seals in the juices. As those vegetables are cooking, we have some red wine. This is just a basic burgundy wine. Chopped tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes. Get the plum, crush them up. Use the juice. If you can't find those, just a crushed tomato works perfect.
San Marzano tomatoes, I've been hearing so much about there. Is there a real difference in taste with the regular canned tomato?
There is. It's a little sweeter, a little more traditional tomato, which when you pull them off the vine, you know, it's kind of, you know, you eat that regular tomato that's chopped up, it's drier, it's not as sweet, it's not as intense. The San Marzano brings out the taste of Italy.
The hearty.
Yeah, the hardiness. So we got our vegetables cooking. We're going to add our red wine to it. And we're going to add our tomatoes to it. I always like to season my vegetables afterwards. We're going to put a little crushed pepper to give it a little kick.
Love that.
And we're going to add a little more greenery to it.
Does parsley offer anything other than good looks?
It's got a little bit of a taste to it, and it actually fights bad breath. I don't know if you knew that. No, make sure you don't
Had a lot of garlic
you don't have
today.
any hanging out in your teeth on the camera. So we're going to chop a little fresh basil and a little fresh parsley. And I just rough chop everything. I'm not, because I'm wearing this funny jacket doesn't mean I'm doing all these technical things. I just ran a knife through it real quick. Simple, quick, fresh. I'm staying out of the drive-through lane. You know, these dishes are fast to cook on your way home or once you get home and before you go to swimming practice or
Some
soccer
Romano
practice.
cheese just on top too?
A little bit of Romano right in the sauce. And you know how I like to finish everything with a little grated cheese?
Yeah.
It's always better with that.
But you haven't even mixed it around. At this point, I'd be stirring, be going a little crazy. Is this better just to let it simmer?
Normally, I would toss it around if I wasn't wearing a white jacket. So I don't really want to wear all those tomatoes. So you have red on. If you want to stir it, you could. You can be my guest. But my steak is about medium rare.
That.
Now I'll turn it around a little bit, and I'll do it slow so I don't splash it all over the kitchen.
And this is still on high heat?
This is still on high heat, exactly. We're going to let that reduce. We're going to let this rest for a second.
Okay.
I just want to tell you about a project that I'm working on.
Okay.
I'm part of Come Dine With Me. It's a restaurant show. It's about the food service industry. It's about the people that love food in Buffalo, the culinary scene. And I'm one of the co-star chef. Did I say that right?
You did.
I'm working with Tucker Curtin from The Steer, Krista Van Wagner of Curly's, and Mr. Art Christie, the world's famous caterer who let us use his beautiful kitchen today.
Nice.
And the chemistry among us guys is just amazing. We have a ball. And you got to tune in Sunday nights at 10:30 on CW23.
You're telling some funny stories about that. You're cooking with kids as well as adults all over the community.
We are. And one of the episodes I cook some wild duck with one of the girls, and she absolutely hates duck, and she's got the best facial expressions of anybody I know.
10:30 Sunday nights,
10:30 Sunday nights, CW23.
All right, can we put this on? Can I
So
have
we
a
are
little
going to
taste?
top it with our pizzaiola sauce. Just a little bit. Remember I said we're getting some fresh mozzarella?
Ooh.
And I'm going to top it again because the hot sauce is going to melt the cheese a little bit. Let me ask you, Victoria, have you ever seen love?
That is just, it's singing to me. It's singing to me.
Pizzaiola.
It's going to
That's
sing to
it.
me, and I'm going to try it when we come back. But we are also going to have ideas on second helpings if you have leftovers.
That's right.
Back to you. I never know what to do if I have leftover steak. And Chef Marco, you've got a great idea. I'm going to try
I do.
pizzaiola first.
It's great. Manja. What do you think? It's awesome, isn't it?
It's delicious.
Now, one of my favorite, even though I cook all Italian, one of my favorite cooking is Mexican.
Me too.
I love the spices and the combos and the flavors. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna leaving all that sauce on there. I'm leaving all the tomatoes, all the peppers, all the onions, and I'm just gonna chop it long ways.
Cheese, everything on it.
Cheese, don't waste a thing. I'm gonna put it back in my saute pan.
Okay. High heat?
High heat, because we're gonna only cook it real quickly. A little chili powder. This gives it the spice and the kick we're looking for. A little cheddar cheese. And we're gonna make fajitas in a wrap. This is perfect for lunch, for dinner, for kids.
That could serve a couple of people.
I don't know, I wasn't gonna share. Did you want me
I
to
was
share?
just thinking the same thing. What are you going to eat?
I know, right? So, as easy as that was, don't waste any of your leftovers. Put them to use.
Look at that.
And I ask you again,
Oh,
have you ever seen love? This is a great fajita.
Love.
That's perfect. I love it.
Do you eat leftovers at home?
I love leftovers. I love to have them for lunch the next day. Chicken cutlets, piccata, anything that I make, I love to put it on a sandwich. I'm the sandwich king.
You're the sandwich king.
I am.
That's why you have the 3 delis.
I do. I have the best sandwiches in Buffalo, and I make a sandwich out of everything.
Excellent. All right, Chef Marco of Marco's Delis, as well as Marco Restaurant.
That's right.
We have the second helping right here. Thank you very much. Back to you, Allie.
Enjoy.